Welcome to Madison, one of the great game day settings in college football. As we enter week 3, fans wearing the Cardinal and white know their Badgers will get their first true test of 2010. Number 11, Wisconsin, has won its first 2 games on the strength of its outstanding running attack. The reigning Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year, John Clay, has rolled behind one of the nation's best offensive lines. But today brings a strong test in Arizona State and its outstanding defense. It's a Big Ten, Pac-10 showdown in Madison. Stadium. This old house has been very good to Wisconsin. The Badgers have lost here just 4 times since the start of the 2004 season. But today brings a threat from the Pac-10. Arizona State and number 11 Wisconsin for the first time in 42 years. Good afternoon, everybody. Mike Patrick, Craig James. It's great to have you with us. Both of these teams are off to relatively easy 2-0 starts and looking for some tougher competition, particularly Wisconsin after all of that preseason hype.
Well, they got hype on my ballot. My AP ballot, I have them number 9, so I'm looking to justify where I have them in the standings. I know they're 11. I expect a little more out of them, especially against an Arizona State team having to come in and play in this environment.
Well, Wisconsin is a run-first team, and today they'll be missing their top 2 receivers, both of them out injured and unavailable, so the run game may be even more important.
Let's see here, 6'5 and a half, 323, run behind that big offensive line. That's a huge group. I think we could run behind them. And when you have John Clay, 8 straight 100-yard games, last year's Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year, you give him the ball. I think that's the guy they're going to give it to today.
The Badgers come out to a roar of approval from 82,000 here at Camp Randall. Couldn't find a bigger contrast with Arizona State from Wisconsin. This is a team built totally on speed and athletic ability. The question for their defense, will all that speed and athleticism be able to match up with Wisconsin's power?
They're looking for a signature win here. This is a young football team, only 1 senior starts. So defensively today, they have got to come out. They've got to make their fits, good reads, get off of blocks. The statistics are showing some good numbers there, but we'll find out if they're misleading. You know, when you're at 7th in the country right now against the rush, that sounds good, but that's before you've played John Clay and company. We'll find out if they can stop it today.
We are only moments away from kickoff in Big Ten country. The red and white in Madison are ready to rock and roll at Camp Randall Stadium. Camp Randall in Madison, Wisconsin. Pac-10 against the Big Ten. Beautiful day. 61 degrees. Chance of on and off showers. But basically perfect for a late September Saturday afternoon. Brett Bielema in his 5th year. 40 wins already. 40-14. And Dennis Erickson, who has authored 2 national championships in his career when he coached at Miami. He knows he's on the hot seat after 2 down years at Arizona State. A win over a team like Wisconsin on the road would go a long way getting this program back to prominence. James White is deep to receive. 2 yards deep, he'll bring it out. And White out to about the 23-yard line. Scott Tolzien will bring out the Wisconsin offense. The senior from Rolling Meadows, Illinois, completing better than 71% of his passes this year.
And the one thing that they like the most about him of all of those numbers is his record as a starter. 12-3. Gets the job done.
And maybe the smartest thing he does as a quarterback is hand the ball off to big number 32. 255 pounds of running back, John Clay. And Clay barrels his way up short of the 30. The offensive line, a group of guys who may get to play on Sunday at some point, particularly the left side. Karimi and Moffitt, all Big Ten choices. Clay, Kendricks may play a bigger role today with two wide receivers injured. He's a very talented tight end, and they are also going to split him out a few times today. Clay. And this is what they want to do, just muscle that smaller Arizona State defense.
Well, when you look at their defense, I mean, Arizona State has some talent. They're fast, they're skilled. But when you go against that big defensive line, especially this unit right here, they must play well. Lawrence Guy has to fill the middle of the field.
Guy and Moose, a couple of 300-pounders, and they have to stand strong in the middle. Excellent linebackers and a couple of really good corners. But it's going to be up a lot to that forward wall. First down, Wisconsin. Clay, third time in a row. Just lowers his shoulder and ran right over Eddie Elder, number 2. The junior college defensive player of the year in California a year ago. He didn't run anybody into anybody in JUCO ball last year like John Clay, did he?
No, he didn't. And they haven't seen anybody up front like they will today. A real Sunday type, NFL type offensive line in skill and in size. So you've seen the first few plays of this game. Just a simple blocking scheme. We're coming off fitting on you, and we're going to push.
Elder outweighed by about 70 pounds by Clay. Underneath the ball, won't get much.
Well, we're going to give you a little look at the game plan today. This is a simple plan that they have, and it's going to be all give and take. The same look and feel. You've got the ball work by the quarterback and the tailback, the linebacker's eyes. They're in the backfield. You give it to John Clay. You have success and a touchdown. Same look and feel again. Ball's out there. This time you take it. Linebackers are looking at the same deal. Play action pass. There goes your tight end, Lance Kendricks. Very nice execution.
Thanks to our friends at EA Sports. Monty Ball is the running back, and Tolzien back to throw again. The quick out complete to Kendricks. Lance Kendricks replacing Garrett Graham, the two-time all-conference tight end from a year ago. He is on the Mackey Award list and is a converted wide receiver, so he already has the good hands, just sort of grew out of the position.
And this is the pressure on that Arizona State defense today. They have to be aggressive, but they have to be poised and see and make the proper reads. You can't just come flying up supporting run because of Kendricks and the receivers here.
Ball will get a carry and a yard, maybe 2.
Yeah, there's a player on defense right there that will call a lot tonight. Vontez Burfict, their linebacker. Number 7 is a guy that they have to have play well. McGee, another one of those good, solid linebackers. But those linebackers are the heart and soul of this defense. They have to get up at the point of attack, somehow disrupt the blocking of those guards who'll be pulling today.
Craig, you look at Monty Ball. He's a big kid. He's 236, but he is dwarfed by the sight of John Clay. Ball again, cuts it to the outside. Good hustle by that Arizona State defense. Omar Bolden, who has an NFL future, number 3, came up from the corner and got in a solid tackle.
Yeah, and you know what? This is what I'm talking about, doing your reads. It's going to be a power play to the left side. They love to outnumber the defense, but it's up to the secondary level, linebackers and safeties, to come up and make the tackle, scraping as soon as the ball carrier gets there.
Third down, 6 yards to go from the Arizona State 30-yard line. Wisconsin in its opening drive. Tolzien underneath. That will not be enough for a first down. Then the ball came loose, but they're going to say it was down, completed to Anderson. He tried to make a couple of moves and get away, but Elder was right there with him. And this will bring on the field goal team.
Craig Bray, the defensive coordinator, his goal was to get them in 3rd and long, 3rd and out of rhythm, make them throw the ball on 3rd down. That's where they felt they had a chance to stop drives.
Welch, who is a preseason first-team All-Big Ten kicker, perfect on the year, 4 for 4. Now 4 for 5, and Arizona State stiffens inside the 30 and holds. Thought they had it, but they didn't. Nothing, first quarter. Dennis Erickson in his 4th season at Arizona State, his 22nd overall as a college football coach. And this is what Arizona State does. They come out throwing the football. Jamal Miles makes the catch out of the backfield. Didn't quite get back to the line of scrimmage. Henry makes the tackle. If you're a Wisconsin fan and this guy looks familiar, it's because he played at Michigan 2 years ago and led a comeback win for Michigan over number 9 Wisconsin. Stephen Threet, who has had the misfortune of going to schools that changed coaches and changed direction. Started at Georgia Tech. They went with Paul Johnson. That wasn't going to fit, so he goes to Michigan. They got Rich Rodriguez. That wasn't going to fit.
70 offense. 5-yard penalty.
I watched him in spring one time when Threet was at Michigan when Rich had just gotten there, and I'm telling you, it was Spanish, it was French, but it wasn't the quarterback zone read that Rich was looking for, nor did Threet want to run that.
No, he was a fish out of water. He's a very talented guy, but that doesn't extend to that. They do a lot of 3-step drop and throw it in a hurry, and Kerry Taylor makes the catch. He is the only starting senior on his entire team. That is unheard of.
And we better hurry through the lineups because this team likes to snap the ball with 18 seconds on the play clock.
This is their biggest concern, the offensive line. Can they keep the Wisconsin defense out of there? They have some very good skilled people. Willie is probably their best offensive wide receiver. Third down, about 4 yards to go. Threet with a quick set and takes off. He can run. Got a good block. Has the first down. Nice block by Cameron Marshall, the running back who picked up a defender downfield, and Threet mobile enough to get the first down. That Wisconsin defense, they are very stout up front. They get 2 outstanding linebackers back on the field, Mike Taylor and Chris Borland today, both coming off of injuries. And a very good secondary. Jay Valai is probably the best guy back there, the strong safety number 2. Delay handoff. Marshall, who has been averaging 9.5 yards a carry through 2 ball games. Louis Nzegwu made the tackle.
This is a classic example of opposites. Power game offense for Wisconsin. Hurry up, spread them out, passing game at Arizona State.
Marshall and Miles, the split running backs. And barreling through is Cameron Marshall. Upset by Chris Borland, but not before he got to the Wisconsin 45-yard line for a first down.
Dennis Erickson brought in a new offensive coordinator this year. Coach Mazzoni is a guy that has run the spread, and they felt like it maybe was a better match for the talent that they had on this football team offensively. You see the pace, the tempo, hoping to wear down Wisconsin.
Marshall again, still on his feet, lost his footing, went down at the 36. Could have picked up 10, 12 more yards. Chris Borland tripped him up.
There's a drill for running backs. You got to feel that. You got to know that when you get in there, your feet have to have eyeballs on them, pick them up, and set them down. Run through those arm tackles from somebody laying on the ground.
And it's Borland who is the injured player, and this is so terribly unfortunate. He has had a chronic left shoulder problem, and he's holding on to it. He had surgery to repair a separated shoulder, and that looks like all the world like he's got another one.
Boy, this is a real blow to this defense.
What a shame.
You know, Brett Bielema was talking about how excited they were to have him out there and back on the field and early in a game. To have that happen there, and when you get exposed and when you have a problem with shoulders, and unfortunately I understand that, Your range of motion, you try to limit it as a player, but when you're active out there in the heat of the battle, it just happens.
He was the Big Ten Freshman of the Year a year ago, and the first defensive player to get that honor in a decade. And that's DeAndre Lewis in Arizona State, trying to stick it to Wisconsin right now. And psychologically seeing Borland, your defensive leader, come off the field has got to be really tough for this defense.
Now let's look at speed. In the replay, look at the speed of which they're doing and going at. Nice job of outside blocking. Marcy's getting around the corner.
Marshall is the setback. Threet in the shotgun. That looked like a busted play, and Stephen Threet will turn it into a 6-yard gain. He didn't look like he was ready for the snap, and the running back certainly wasn't paying attention.
I'm seeing a lot of red jerseys standing around, already hands on hips. A tired-looking defense.
All tempo, isn't it?
It's tempo. They're used to it at Arizona State, and that's why they're at this pace here. They'd love to snap it with 18 seconds. 20-19. They're looking to snap the ball at that point. It's fast.
Marshall got caught up that time and dragged down by Jordan Cahoot. Cahoot, a redshirt freshman, 6'3", 300 pounds, a big-time high school wrestler, and extremely strong.
Yeah, those wrestlers, though, don't they get it done pretty quick, pin them, and then they can take a break and a blow? He'd love to pin this offense and get off the field. Look at the rotations, the substitutions coming in on a dead ball play. The defense at Wisconsin today has to be extremely fast and prepared to substitute because of the pace of this offense.
And we've got another Wisconsin injury. Defensive tackle Ethan Hemer is down. We'll check on him when we come back.
ESPN's College Football is presented by 5-Hour Energy. Hours of energy now, no 2:30 feeling later. For more information, visit 5hourenergy.com. And in part by AutoZone. For the auto parts, accessories, and advice you need, get in the zone. AutoZone.
Mickey's Dairy Bar across the street from Camp Randall Stadium, one of the most popular places in Madison. Not a calorie in there, is there?
Well, you hope that it's just calories in there being a visitor.
3rd and 4. Arizona State with an impressive drive. 6 straight runs for 52 yards after they opened up passing. Miles is the running back. Threet throws underneath. That's a first down to the 8-yard line. It will be 1st and goal for Arizona State. Kerry Taylor makes his 2nd catch of the day.
When you're running against a spread offense, it's a look and feel. It's wherever the defense doesn't go, it's where the receivers are going. And they're taught to run to open space in these spread offenses, so you really can't cover all of the carpet.
Marshall, not this time. Horse-collared for a loss of 2 back at the 10. Nice tackle by Valai. Powerful looking safety.
One of the best defensive players I've seen so far in all of my travels this year is J.J. Watt, number 99. He's an outside guy. He's a high motor guy. He's up here at the top, and he can absolutely get to you.
Threet. Marshall wasn't looking. The ball went right over his head. Marshall's got to understand if he's going to go downfield, he might as well turn around and see if the ball's coming.
Good start, though, for Stephen Threet coming down the field, taking advantage of their defense. This is called teamwork, right? Units working together on the road, hostile environment. Defense did their job. Offense is as well right now.
This will be the 13th play of this drive. They were really concerned about their offensive line coming in, but they have acquitted themselves very well. Blitz coming. Threet scrambles down to the 7. This will force a field goal try. Good hustle by Patrick Buttram, who chased him down
Well, that timeout, because of injury, really helped Nebraska's defense catch their breath with the substitutions. Wisconsin just, taking advantage of that was really, really good.
Weber comes on for the field goal try, 25. This guy won the Groza Award as the best kicker in the country as a freshman. Last year he was injured and he misses this one. How about that? Impressive opening drives for both ball clubs, and both reliable field goal kickers come up empty. Welcome back to Camp Randall Stadium. Wisconsin with its second possession starts from its own 20-yard line. And since the fourth play of the game, we have not seen running back John Clay. White is in there as the tailback this time. We will check on him if we can and see if something's wrong. White dodges a tackle there and taken out of bounds. Saturday Night Football continues. 2 full national coverage games. First, number 6 Texas heads to Lubbock to face undefeated Texas Tech in the Dr. Pepper Rivalry Series game. And Brian Kelly's Notre Dame Fighting Irish hits the road to face the Michigan State Spartans. Saturday Night Football presented by Southwest Airlines on either ABC or ESPN2 tonight at 8 Eastern. Check your local listings. Both games also available on ESPN3.com. White remains in as the running back. Tolzien, good play fake. Plenty of time. Throws to Kendricks. 50, 40. Gain of 26. We haven't even been able to find the Heisman candidate on the sideline.
Watch here, Kendricks. Watch how he's hidden and gets lost in traffic. The patience let him go, then goes over. Well-designed, great execution. Wisconsin's a football team. Their play action is bread and butter. Really taking advantage of a good, solid ground game.
No word from the Wisconsin sideline on any injury to Clay. Tolzien on that little half roll. And completes it underneath to Isaac Anderson. And now for an update, let's go to Robert Flores in our Times Square studio.
Thanks. I'll be here all afternoon, keeping you up to date on games across the nation, starting with this Taco Bell studio update.
To Duke, where Alabama is putting it on the Blue Devils. Greg McElroy to Julio Jones. Touchdown. McElroy 4 of 5, 74 yards and 2 scores. Mark Ingram, 2 carries, 51 yards in his first action of 2010.
Robert, thank you very much. It is second down and about 2 for Wisconsin. White pushed into the backfield, lost his balance, and then run down in the backfield by Vontez Burfict, the middle linebacker who has great skills. And when you look at this Arizona State defense, you've got Lyons, Burfict, and McGee, the 3 starting linebackers, all from Corona, California. They all played on the same Centennial High School team. Well, you think those guys were any good?
They were really good, obviously, but their main job now is to keep number 7, Burfict, under control. We'll talk about his emotions throughout this ball game. He wants to be perfect. It means a lot to him, but many times he'll lose control.
Third down now and 5. White on the toss. And he's swallowed up at the corner. Shelley Lyons, the strong side linebacker, knocked him out of bounds.
How'd you like to be the parent of a kid going against that team in high school?
No thanks. How'd you like to be the quarterback?
Yeah. Anything. They're outstanding players, and it has been the strength on this defense. But man, Vontez Burfict, when he's going, he's going full tilt. He doesn't know anything less.
All right, can anybody make a field goal? Welch has missed from 44. He'll try this one from 49. Got it. Philip Welch, who has plenty of leg, puts Wisconsin on top 3-0 here at home. There's Clay on the sideline. We are told by the Wisconsin folks there's nothing wrong. But he played the first 3 plays and hasn't played since.
Well, Brett Bielema is the guy that gets everybody involved on his roster. He says, if you're on the sidelines, I'm going to use you. Now, I know John Clay is the guy that you definitely want to have on the field. It's a long game. I don't expect him to sit on the sidelines very long unless there's an issue.
Well, there may not be anything wrong, but if your Heisman Trophy candidate running back is on the sideline for this long, there's something isn't right. Arizona State's got a chance to break it all the way on the return. Omar Bolden, 97 yards.
Having a chance to see the speed of this Arizona State football team, and it translates into the special teams. Wisconsin's got to get down. They got to play faster. Bolden, a captain of the football team, making a big play.
Omar Bolden strikes in 12 seconds on a 97-yard kick return. Arizona State was short a player and has to take a timeout.
Well, I know for sure that Bielema and Wisconsin work hard on special teams. So does Arizona State. They come out, they fit on, good blocking, and then the vision there, the nice cut back to the middle of the field for Bolden to break the big one.
Untouched by human hands. Went straight up the middle.
And we talked about coming into this game that we felt like we knew what Wisconsin was. We were waiting to see what Arizona State was going to be. This is a football team with only 1 senior starting today. Only 13 seniors out here. So a very young and experienced team handling Camp Randall Stadium.
And a very young team that just got a huge lift. Point after from Weber, and Arizona State, a 2-touchdown underdog coming in here on the road to play a nationally ranked team, has a 7-3 lead.
Strategy of this football game by both coaching staffs obviously different. For Arizona State, quick strike offense, got to go down and score. Well, we're seeing now quick strike special teams. For Wisconsin, simple. They wanted time of possession to keep it away from the speed.
Right now, the Arizona State speed is better than the Wisconsin power.
No question about it. And we saw in that opening series where Wisconsin's defense was fatigued, having to stay on the field so long and couldn't substitute. So, maybe they'll loosen up a little bit, but their offense, there's no question that Wisconsin's offense must hold on to the football and take it down the field for time of possession.
White and Ewing are deep for Thomas Weber's kickoff. White moves up to the 3. And taken down as he crossed the 25.
The show made by the nation is packing its bags for a Big Ten road trip. Oh yes, Sports Nation taking its characters and costumes and going to hang out with some of college football's most passionate fans. 4 days in Big Ten country, Monday through Thursday at 4 p.m. on ESPN2. And mark my words, the nation will never be the same.
Well, that'll be fun, too, and it's perfect weather still. Great time to visit the Big Ten.
Feels like an October day here.
Yeah, it does. Clay is back in the ballgame. Had the first 3 carries of the ball game. They go to their workhorse again. Drives out to the 28.
Well, what a day of importance between the Big Ten, the Pac-10. We're seeing this contest here. And then later this evening, Iowa plays at Arizona. You and I did that game last season, and that power of Iowa overdid the speed of Arizona last year. We'll see if they can make an adjustment.
Wisconsin trails for the first time this year, down 7-3 to Arizona State. Well, let's see if Wisconsin has gotten a wake-up call to start the second quarter. Courtesy of that man, Omar Bolden, who returned a kickoff 97 yards for a touchdown and has given Arizona State the lead over the number 11 team in the country. Tolzien. Plenty of time, and he missed it badly, intended for Abradaris.
Now, Arizona State's defensive coordinator Craig Bray will take that all day long, watching Scott Tolzien drop back and throw the football on second down. Right? That's like a
dial it up every time.
Please. He doesn't want to see that OT counter, that big power game, run for 4, 5, and 6 a clip.
Monty Ball checks in the backfield, and Tolzien is going to have to burn a timeout.
Timeout. Wisconsin, first team timeout.
Let's go, Devils. Here we go. Stay.
We've got a timeout. 14:55 to go. First half of play. Arizona State with the lead on the road. 7-3 Arizona State, but the stat of this game so far to me is John Clay, 4 carries for 24 yards. 4 carries. Tolzien, excellent protection. Throws to the sideline, almost intercepted, in and out of the hands of Irabor.
Well, again, this is the second time we've seen third and fairly long. A successful accomplishment by Arizona State's defense. They're only having to rush 4, and they've got good, solid, recognized coverage in the backside. So Craig Bray's defense hanging in there.
Brad Nortman to kick to Jamal Miles, who has averaged over 19 yards a punt return so far this year in 6 tries. Nice driving spiral. Got a seam. Flag is down. There goes Miles, and it looks like it's coming back. 80 yards, but hang on. Once he broke that first wave, you just had the feeling nobody was going to touch Miles. That's why he's averaged 19 yards a kick return.
I don't care if it is coming back. The message.
2 fouls on the play. Illegal block in the back, number 37. That was on the return. That penalty's declined. Illegal block in the back, number 2. That'll be assessed from the spot of the foul. First down.
Brandon Smith, a wide receiver out of Bakersfield, California. That was a pretty obvious call.
Yeah, had his hands on the back and he pushes. But Mike, it doesn't matter. The signal, the message, the vibe of Arizona State that they're sending. When you see guys running down the field like that all the time,
yes,
that's not a good thing. That's Wisconsin. Look at their bench right now. Wisconsin's bench is sitting over there right now kind of quiet and stunned. They're like, what is going on in this football game?
So they mark it just inside the 10-yard line. And Stephen Threed and the offense will start from there. The Wisconsin crowd trying to get their defense into it a little bit right now.
And they'll have to do it again. Chris Borland not in the game right now. Number 44 came out with the shoulder banged up, so one of their leaders out of the game.
Marshall is the setback, blocking for Threed. And Threed going deep and incomplete. That is the other number 2, Brandon Smith. Trying to get him back in the ballgame after committing the penalty. Finellis with good coverage. Number 26 for Wisconsin.
I get a feel watching Arizona State come out, you know, boom, first down, backed up. They don't care. They're throwing the ball deep.
That's right.
And I got to tell you, Nebraska wasn't expecting, Wisconsin wasn't expecting to see a lot of deep throws today.
Marshall, 45-yard line. 38-yard run.
Ooh. I want you to watch Wisconsin's defenders as they see the ball carrier running past them. Lewis, watch them. I mean, they're just running by them. There's not laying out.
Sideline interference charged to the coaching staff, Arizona State. That 5-yard penalty be assessed at the end of the run. Still first down.
Boy, Dennis Erickson is absolutely livid right now. He is going crazy. The first down will stand. They assess it at the end of the penalty, or at the end of the run. You will not see Dennis Erickson any more upset than that. Lewis now 2 carries, 55 yards. Marshall runs into the defensive end, Nisegwu, and gets nothing.
Different dynamic that we're seeing here from this Arizona State offense. Everybody's kind of thinking coming in, they're going to throw. And in that first drive, they had 4 passes and 9 runs. So a team that can run the football, they had success on the ground. They can do it via the run or the pass. But by doing it with the run, you're taking some of that spirit out of this Wisconsin defense.
They came in after 2 games, averaging 500 yards in total offense a game. Threed under pressure, hit just as he throws, but got it out there complete to Kerry Taylor, his 3rd catch of the day, and Taylor is down to the 40-yard line after a gain of 17 yards.
Stephen Threed is earning the respect of his teammates.
Yes, sir.
And doing the right thing in the pocket, stands there, delivers the ball, gets hit. Not worried about it, feels it, lets his receiver come open.
That was J.J. Watt who got there a quarter of a step too late to get the sack. The only returning starter on that defensive line. Threed gives it on the delay to Miles. You know, you said Threed was impressing his teammates. He's impressing us, too. This has been a heck of a performance so far.
Again, you're seeing some substitutions right now by Arizona State's team. You can't get guys and bodies on from Wisconsin's team. So that's allowing fresh bodies to be around Stephen Threed, letting him do his thing.
On the run, they are averaging 8.5 yards a carry. Cameron Marshall is the tailback. And Marshall will get the carry. Drags a couple of tacklers with him down to the Wisconsin 28-yard line. That is another first down.
Arizona State, they have run for a lot of yards in their opener, 242. Today already over 100 with some statement. 13 carries, 104 yards on the game today.
And this is against a defense that had only given up 83 yards a game through their first 2 performances. And that's going to be an offside, I think, on J.J. Watt, unless somebody moved early and drew him off.
62 offense. 5-yard penalty.
And it will be on the offensive line, Evan Finkenberg. Now for today's Aflac trivia question. Last year, John Clay was named the Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year as a sophomore. Who was the last sophomore before him to win that award? I'll give you a minute to think.
I'll need more than a minute.
That's complete to George Bell, the junior college transfer, gets his first catch of the year. Antonio Finellis makes the tackle, and Arizona State getting contributions from a lot of players right now,
including that offensive line, especially the offensive line. We came into this game talking about Wisconsin's offensive line. How about the Sun Devils?
They were so concerned that Arizona State would not be able to stand up against that power. And two in a row to Bell. But they have done beautifully. And it's so hard for a defensive line to get there with those quick drops anyway.
And the solid running game. So you put the quick drops, getting rid of the football, and the fact that they've got the ground game running and working today.
Yeah,
it's all in their hip pocket right now. They're the one who has become the aggressor in the game.
And Threet really threaded that one. This will go against Arizona State.
71 offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Well, last year, Arizona State was the most penalized team in the country. 120th. To their credit, they've gotten better. They're 118th this year.
But to be a really good team, Dennis Erickson is trying to convince them you can't make these kind of mistakes and win big games on the road. You can't. Don't let it happen to you where it teaches you a lesson. Don't let it be one of those that you're like, wow, I wish we'd have listened to the coach.
Well, it's already hurt them today. 5 penalties for 30 yards. And as you can see, it has become a tradition for Arizona State to make these kind of mistakes. That ball flutters down to Willie, still somehow able to make the catch and gets out of bounds at the 8-yard line.
This is a result, though, of all the time that you would want to have as a quarterback. Not even a threat to run by Threet. I mean, he just stood there and he said, hey, I'm going to just hang out right here. And then watch Willie come back to the ball. Fights back to the football to win the ball in the air.
Willie carries a football with him every minute of the day when he's on campus at Arizona State. He said, I am not going to fumble a football. Threet under pressure this time, gets away. Threet with time into the end zone. Touchdown, George Bell. He dropped it. Holy cow. Aaron Henry came over and saved a touchdown. What a job by Threet to make the throw, and Bell just dropped it.
And Aaron Henry coming in there, delivering a shot to knock the ball out. Now, this is a guy who's used to making big plays. That one there knocks the ball out.
No sign of the field goal team. You could see Stephen, it's third down, no wonder. Threet was motioning toward the sideline like, I want to go for it. But it was no problem. Threet to the corner. Bell out of bounds. Caught that one, but couldn't get the feet down.
Man, I'm going to tell you, this is a great throw across the field over a defender. Not much sideline to work with his receiver to come down. I thought from up here in the booth he had the ball. Oh, great call. Foot on the line.
Toe came down on the white. But you're right. What a throw by Threet. Weber on to try the same distance field goal that he missed before.
Now is under review.
They're going to review this play, but I think from that initial replay, it was obvious he did come down on the sideline. But what a throw by Threet. I mean, you couldn't groove it any better.
And the fact that you don't have much sideline to work with over there, having to get the ball over the corner and down in time for the receiver to have a shot at bringing his feet down in bounds. Nice focus and going up and catching the ball.
Moving on the field was an incomplete pass with the receiver out of bounds.
Ooh, look at that right toe.
Right foot?
The right foot. Did he have possession when the right toe hits? That right toe is on red. Now, indisputable video evidence has to come into play here.
Well, we would need to see another angle.
That sure looks like there that if the question is, does he have possession of the football while that right toe is there? It looks pretty good to me.
Antonio Finellis' body is blocking a real good look at it. So you can't even say, well, let's see something kick up.
Valerie to you. The play stands as called. Incomplete pass. 4th down.
So maybe Wisconsin gets a break. And now Weber will try a 25-yard field goal, the same distance he missed at earlier.
Every moment that they have downtime, Wisconsin, they've got to take advantage of it to readjust their throttle.
Weber knocks it through, and Arizona State extends the lead after an 82-yard drive. They're now at 10-3.
ESPN's College Football, brought to you by Kingsford Charcoal and the Home Depot. Get your tailgate started right with Kingsford Charcoal from the Home Depot.
In this state that you can get a bratwurst? Well, try State Street Brats in Madison, one of the hot spots downtown.
Oh, those onions. I'd be breathing fire for a week.
Kyle Zuliger has dropped deep for Thomas Weber's kick. Zuliger from the 4. And taken down at the 24. Let's check into the studio, see what's happening around the country.
All right, Mike, New York Live studio update. Florida's Mike Gillislee caps a 9-play, 42-yard drive. Gators lead 7-3 over Tennessee. They have never won 3 consecutive games in Knoxville. Meantime, number 1 Alabama getting 2 touchdowns and 119 yards from Mark Ingram as the Heisman Trophy winner sees his first action of 2010. Mike, Greg?
It's all they needed to have, wasn't it, to have Ingram come back to play against Duke? Clay, the tailback, can they get back to Wisconsin football? Just let the big guy mow people down. Solid tackle by Bolden. The best you can do as a defensive back, getting away, hang on, and wait for help.
And, you know, after that last 5-minute and 8-second drive by Arizona State, you know, which is what we expect out of Wisconsin, they've got to get Clay like this, lathered up. They got to get him in the hole and in the secondary.
The fullback is 307-pound Ryan Groy. Clay is drilled that time in the backfield, and Keelan Johnson, number 10, the free safety, shot the gap and smoked it. Now for the answer to our Aflac trivia question, which was last year John Clay was named Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year as a sophomore. Who was the sophomore before him to win the award? And it was Drew Brees, who also won it in his senior year in 2000. Passed for almost 4,000 yards and 39 touchdowns in 1998. His career's turned out all right, hasn't it?
I would say so.
Play action fake to Clay. Tolzien to Kendricks. Kendricks was behind everybody to the 33-yard line. Finally tackled by Clint Floyd. And you can see Arizona State with that play action fake just selling out.
Yeah, and watch, and he's going to fake a little block, and then he takes off and he goes down the field. This is, again, good execution, selling run, bang, past the secondary, play action.
Boy, everybody was within 3 yards of the line of scrimmage and just had to turn around and run the other way. Kendricks now 3 catches, 77 yards.
What a call, though, by offensive coordinator Paul Chryst. You know what? I'm sitting here thinking, run the football, be who you are. Arizona State's thinking they're going to be who they are.
That's right.
That's why he's the OC.
And another injured player. It appears to be Brandon McGee, the starting weak side linebacker for Arizona State. ABC has a new drama coming your way. Detroit 187. The series premiere on Tuesday at 10/9 Central on ABC. It stars Michael Imperioli and James McDaniel. Great cops made in Detroit. When it's your hometown, everything is personal. It's nice to see Michael Imperioli back on the air. We loved him in The Sopranos. McGee being helped off. Appears to be favoring a leg. He's one of those 3 linebackers from Centennial High School in Corona, California. Accomplished athlete. He was drafted by Tampa Bay in the baseball draft a few years ago.
On the football field, again, he's the one guy that Vontaze Burfict really looks to. And Arizona State's coaches look to keep Burfict under control.
1st and 10, Wisconsin. Kendricks on the end around. So they use Clay as a decoy, and Oliver Aaron, who was in for McGee, stood his ground on the outside and made the tackle.
I'd say I like Kendricks running routes better than I do running the football from the back.
He's 241 pounds. It looks a little unusual to see him on an end around.
Bielema was saying, though, that Kendricks has a chance to be one of the great tight ends like they've had here at Wisconsin.
Second and 14. Tolzien with a 4-man rush. Good protection, almost intercepted. Right through the hands of Vontaze Burfict. The middle linebacker who made a play on the ball couldn't quite hold it.
What a nice job by Arizona State's defense of first putting pressure with just 4 rushers against that big offensive line. And then by Burfict of seeing the eyes, reading the route, and going to the football, almost being athletic and making a big-time play.
Big 3rd down here, 3rd and 14. Wisconsin down by a touchdown. They have been held to a field goal. Little toss underneath to Ball, and Monty Ball to the 27-yard line. Shelley Lyons makes the tackle, and here comes the field goal unit.
Get the feeling that at this point right here, Brett Bielema doesn't want to take the chance of not making it on 4th down and giving even more momentum to that Arizona State team.
Well, they have certainly not been overpowered by Wisconsin, have they? Welch with a field goal try, 44. He is hit from 49. And drives this one through. He's 2 for 3. Wisconsin with a pair of field goals. The Badgers have cut the lead to 4. Welcome back to Madison, Wisconsin, where we have an interesting ball game for you. Number 11, Wisconsin, trailing, visiting Arizona State 10-6. In the first real test for either ball club after 2-0 starts. Lewis and Middlebrooks are deep for Arizona State. Lewis from the 3. Speed galore on this team. There is a flag down as Lewis is taken down at the 24.
On the return, holding number 47. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Let's take a look at our Pacific Life game summary. And our first chance this year to see Heisman candidate John Clay. He's only had 6 carries for 32 yards in this game. The star's been Stephen 3, who's been on target since the very beginning. And the big play came from Omar Bolden. A 97-yard kick return. 97 yards untouched.
And I would add to that game summary for me is time of possession, about balanced. Arizona State right there with Wisconsin in this game on time of possession. And so, you know, if you're Arizona State, you're like, we have done exactly what we needed to do to this point. We've given life to these young football players with only one senior starting to believe they have a chance.
Kerry Taylor made that last catch. He has 4. Marshall didn't get back to the line of scrimmage.
Now, I know,
he was stopped by middle linebacker Colmer St. Jean.
I've got somebody else down now.
Been a lot of guys hurt, haven't
Injured player.
And it's J.J. Watt, who was their star defensive lineman. Their star linebacker is already gone. Chris Borland, who was just coming back from a shoulder injury and hurt it again right after the beginning of the ball game.
Yeah, I thought in all of my film study here this week, easily Watt was one of the better players that I have seen in the country. Really disappointing to see him down.
Welcome back to Madison. Glad you could join us this afternoon. It is a second down play for Arizona State from its own 25-yard line. Stephen Threet, who has been very impressive here in the first half in that quick passing game. Under pressure, down he goes. Louis Nzegwu, the junior out of Platteville, Wisconsin, got a free shot from his defensive end spot and made it count.
What he did was he made it count that he had a chance to go against a running back. Nzegwu right there. You have the miss by the block. Miles doesn't do it. And that gets, with only 4, one guy to the quarterback.
One of the few times Wisconsin has been able to put Arizona State in a 3rd and long situation. Threet swings it out of the backfield to Miles. And Miles still fighting for yardage. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage plus a couple. But they'll have to punt it away. Clock running, 4 minutes, 19 seconds to go in the first half here at Camp Randall Stadium.
Well, I guarantee you the coaching staff and the team concerned at Wisconsin about their star defender, J.J. Watt, and how he's doing. You can't afford to lose a star player like that.
He was able to come off the field under his own power. We have not seen him back in the ball game, perhaps the next series. Aubrey Darris waits at his 25-yard line for Hankins' punt. Low line drive spiral, drives him back to the 18. Taken down at the 28. 55-yard kick. Officially, the return is 11.
Well, with EA Sports, we put together kind of what we thought would be a real critical part of the game, the James game with them. We showed you pregame how they work the football, the play action pass, and what it's meant. Well, in the football game, it's held up and held true. Tolzien to Lance Kendricks taking advantage of that Arizona State defense, really coming up hard, trying to stop the running game. So the discipline not being there all the time by that Sun Devil defense.
Clay is back in as the deep man behind Tolzien, and Tolzien wants to throw. And a quick roll gets it out in the corner to Isaac Anderson. His 3rd catch, and Anderson out of bounds just short of the 39-yard line.
And Mike, that works the play action pass so well when you've got a quarterback like Tolzien, who last year in 09 completed 65% to lead the Big Ten. He can throw the football. This isn't just a running offense.
And it wasn't just his completion percentage. He threw for over 2,700 yards, which is the 2nd best ever at Wisconsin. So he was very, very good. It's 8 of 11 for 113 yards here in the first half today. They're going to bring the chains in from across the way to measure. It looked like it was just shy of a first down, but I think Wisconsin wanted the measurement, and it was granted. The official said, "I told you so." It was a quarter of an inch short. Jimmy Johnson will be racing for a historic 5th straight championship, while 4-time NASCAR champion Jeff Gordon and the regular season points leader Kevin Harvick look to make history of their own. The chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup at New Hampshire on ESPN. Tomorrow at 1 o'clock, coverage begins with NASCAR Countdown at noon on ESPN2. So 2nd and a smidge.
Looking at scores around the country, Florida up 7-3 on Tennessee. You know, we did Tennessee last week, and we are not surprised that the Vols are playing well.
No. Our only question about them is, can they sustain it
for a full 4 quarters?
Don't have a lot of depth. Clay on 2nd and an inch. Will he get the carry? No. Tozine to throw. Under pressure, and down he goes. Arizona State, as Tolzien tried to step up, Lawrence Guy made the tackle. The 300-pound defensive lineman got in there and wrapped up the quarterback.
Okay, so the last time that Wisconsin was in 3rd and short, they had the play action, and it worked well for them. This time, 2nd short didn't. Now they bring in their big guy, number 47 out there. Lineman, offensive lineman, 305 pounds, Ryan Groy. I bet they run it.
Made him a fullback. Clay barrels his way to the 45-yard line. Ryan Groy initially wore number 79. They said, "We're going to make you a fullback, son. You can either have 94 or 47. He said, "Well, I'll take 94. He went out and had one practice, came back and said, "You know, 47 is a real fullback's number. Can I get that one instead?" And Brett Bielema says, "I've created a monster."
There's more to that. If we get a chance, we'll finish it up.
Tolzien, blitz coming, hangs in there. Kendrick makes the catch to the 41-yard line. That's obviously going to be their go-to guy, Lance Kendricks. 4 catches, 90 yards so far.
Good job there blocking that time by John Clay on the inside. So if you're not getting it, you got to be a team guy. You got to finish it up and help your quarterback out throwing the ball. But they've got to find an answer at Arizona State for this tight end Kendricks.
Four-man rush against Tolzien. Throws underneath to his tailback, Monty Ball. And Ball has a first down at the 30. That's his 3rd catch out of the backfield. Another first down, and the clock will stop temporarily.
Well, on that particular play, the tight end Kendricks had 3 different folks bracketing. You'll see him over on the left side of your screen. When he comes out running, you've got linebackers. Everybody's looking for where's the tight end.
When Tolzien was looking over there too, wasn't it? Ball out in the flat, wide open. 10 yards and a first down. Tackled by Colin Parker, who's in the linebacker spot, number 21. Tolzien's very good at finding the open man.
65% last year. You know, he sees the field. He feels what they're doing in the secondary. The previous play, he felt 3 folks bracketing his tight end Kendricks and found the opening behind a vacated linebacker. Very smart.
For his career, he is the best ever at Wisconsin in completion percentage. He's perfect for this offense. All this play action stuff. Ball. Maybe a yard and no more.
Well, that Arizona State defensive line, they have done a pretty good job,
haven't they?
I mean, you know, we talked about the Wisconsin strength and 323-pound average and their 6'5" height, and Sun Devils have just come in here and buckled down.
I mean, Karimi and Moffitt on that left side are all conference performers.
4 of the 5 up there are on major awards list, watch groups.
Tolzien slings it out. The catch made short of the first down by Anderson.
It's a good word to use, too, isn't it, Mike? I think that's slinging it.
Both of these quarterbacks have that kind of arm action, don't they?
Second timeout. 30-second timeout.
And, I mean, it might be nice to have that classic over-the-top motion, but whatever gets it done.
If it's a completion, it works.
College football on ESPN continues tonight. 2 games featuring 4 unbeatens. First at 7 Eastern. Clemson heads to the south to take on number 16 Auburn. Tigers against Tigers. Then at 10:30, Ricky Stanzi and number 9 Iowa go to the desert to face number 24 Arizona. We're saying this morning it might be 100 degrees at kickoff. College football primetime presented by Hampton Hotels on ESPN tonight. Both games also available online and on your phone.
I look forward to seeing Clemson, Kyle Parker, and that offense, what they can do going against Cam Newton and that Auburn offense. That'll be a good little matchup.
Yes, it will.
There.
Wisconsin only averaging 3.7 yards a carry so far. This will be 3rd and a yard. Clay is back in there, and he'll get the ball. Clay got just to the 10, and that's where the sticks are. If they put the nose of the ball across the 10, it'll be a first down.
When you see big Ryan Groy go in there, number 47, you're thinking run. Now, Groy's got to learn. It's a different way of attacking from fullback versus being as a guard or a tackle. You got to get up in there and explode through someone. That was a heck of a job defensively of plugging the hole, not letting them knock you out of there.
Wisconsin.
Timeout was granted prior to the ready for play. 30 seconds on the game clock. Timeout, Wisconsin. 3rd and final team timeout.
Really used a lot of time. Clock went down to, it shows right now, 28. They're going to put it back to 30, but they have used all of their timeouts. And this will make it interesting from a play calling standpoint and where you throw the ball. You throw a pass inbounds and it's caught, then you've got to really hurry up to get back to the line of scrimmage. And in these situations, you can ill afford to down the ball to stop the clock. You've got to run another play.
I will say this. One of the beauties of this Wisconsin offense in the first half has been the play action, the ability to throw the football consistently. So that's going to put a lot of pressure on the Sun Devils to figure out which one they think is coming at them.
And the red zone has not been kind to Wisconsin so far. It's been one of the major headaches they've had winning those 2 ball games. They had 3 turnovers in 5 trips in one stretch. Tolzien with time for the end zone, knocked away. Beautiful defense by Floyd. These guys close so well. His man was open, but if you're a little late on the throw, they're going to get there.
Well, we watched this week, and Kendricks now is wide, away from his tight end responsibility. They don't have now 2 receivers here, Nick Toon and David Gilreath, right? So they've gone with some body height and size on the outside, try to take advantage of it.
Excellent coverage by Floyd, and then the pass was a little behind Kendricks, didn't lead him enough. Tolzien again, blitz coming. Tolzien unloads, incomplete. There is a flag down. Against Wisconsin, holding. That is the first penalty against the Badgers today. And it comes at a bad spot.
Holding. 66 offense. 10 yards. Main second down.
Peter Kahns, the sophomore center, called for the hold.
Very good football player. They can rely on him to pull and do things. But Burfict, the speed, running past, forced the mistake and the error there in the penalty.
He's 6'3", 245. He is a fast 245.
And you know what I like about him? He's decisive. Once he sees something, he's going for it. He's down the hill.
Yes, sir. Second down and goal now from the 20. Tolzien hit as he throws. Incomplete. Flag down. That's going to be interference as Omar Bolden, he of the 97-yard kick return, got there just a little bit early.
Once again, Wisconsin trying to take advantage of the height of Kendricks and putting him out wide. Big body trying to get a mismatch with the corners.
Pass interference. Defense number 3. Spot foul. Automatic. First down.
He's got 6'4" going against 5'10". And this is making up for the loss of 2 real special players at Wisconsin wide receivers who are not here in the game today. And that's a penalty through the back.
It is a first down. They mark it at the 14, but there are only 15 seconds to go in the half. They can ill afford to complete a pass in the field of play that doesn't get them a touchdown. Kendricks, touchdown. And a flag as well. It would have been interference on Bolden had Kendricks not made the catch, but Tolzien made a beautiful throw, and Kendricks made the big catch.
For a guy who plays tight end, to be able to make the adjustment for outside and catch the back shoulder throw, you know, that's a design play. That's really excellent execution for a tight end, going wide, getting the back shoulder of it.
Well, that kid's got quite a future at 6'4", 241. He sort of grew out of the wide receiver spot. He's made 5 catches for 140 or 104 yards today. And Wisconsin, with 10 seconds to go in the half, has taken the lead, much to the delight of a huge crowd here at Camp Randall Stadium.
Arizona State deciding to go again with just a 4-man rush and stunning with those 4. Not out of characteristic for them. But what is just spectacular is Tolzien's precision continues for this football team.
Well, he was 6 out of 7 on that drive, Craig. 64 yards, got the touchdown. And you got to say, Bolden, I mean, he was all over Kendricks. Somehow Tolzien got the ball in there.
Very interesting first half. I wasn't certain that Arizona State would come in here and be able to handle the environment, the road, and be focused with so many young football players on their team. And yet they have easily answered any questions about that.
And you know what? Talking to their coaching staff and the people associated with the university, they weren't sure either. I mean, they questioned whether their offensive line could block those big bad guys from Wisconsin up front, and whether they were going to be physical enough to handle them, if they have done it so far. Lewis and Middlebrooks are deep. And Wisconsin chooses to kick it. Middlebrooks, who can fly. 1 man to beat. Middlebrooks still on his feet. Take it down at the 1. Holy cow, time has expired. 95-yard kick return. And nothing. Holy cow.
But something, again, another message to this Wisconsin football team that you had better.
The runner is down.
Really needs that, but they better come out in the second half on special teams.
And if you're Wisconsin, aren't you thinking, why did we kick it deep with all this speed?
Yeah, I am so impressed with the composure that Arizona State has shown here on this field. Camp Randall Stadium's a tough place. Now, great effort here coming down. Is he
Shelton Johnson.
Down before that ball goes across.
Shelton Johnson made the tackle
The previous
and
play
saved their
is
wagon.
under review regarding the goal line.
They'll review it, but obviously he is down.
Yeah,
but that is the effort of Shelton Johnson. Simply would not give up. He's 24. Holy cow, you can't get any closer. And all the players standing on the field.
Was the runner was down short of the goal line.
Again, what do you get out of that? 0 points, but still it's a head game now. You got an Arizona State team that's going to go to the locker room and know that they've got a chance.
Following the replay review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. He was short of the goal line. Half is over.
Well, Arizona State will get the ball to start the second half. You want to bet Middlebrooks will be back there? How about Bolden? Bolden's already gone 97 yards. Put it back there together and say, hey, come on, just kick it.
I'll bet you this, too. I wouldn't be surprised to see Brett Bielema on the cover team coming out.
At the half, it's 13-10 Wisconsin. When we come back, the studio catches you up on everything at halftime after these messages. What a good ball game. We are at the half in Wisconsin. The Badgers leading Arizona State 13-10. If you haven't been with us, Wisconsin took the lead very late in the second quarter, but Arizona State has come this close on a couple opportunities. They could be up by a couple of touchdowns.
Dennis Erickson has to tell his football team, you must play another 2 quarters, full quarters, every snap like you did in the first half if you want to have a chance to win this game. They only have one senior who started in this ball game.
Yeah.
It's a very young football team. So we saw it last week with Tennessee. They played a half. Well, the better team came out and smoked them in the second half. And that happens with young football teams that don't have leadership in the huddle.
Well, they certainly have speed. There is no denying that, and it has been on display here in the first half, including a 95.5-yard kickoff return on the last play and a half that was stopped at the half-yard line. Middlebrooks, the guy who went 95.5, is deep to receive this kick. Instead, it goes to Bolden, who had a 97-yard kickoff return. Let's take a look at our Pacific Life game summary.
They're clapping like they tackled the kick returner, I guess. You know?
Yeah, why not? I'd applaud, too. 226 yards for Wisconsin, but only 57 yards rushing. Normally, Wisconsin will have 57 yards rushing on the first series. Threep will start from his own 24. And throws over the middle of George Bell. And Bell should have a first down at the 35-yard line. 6'3" junior came into this ball game without a reception. Has made 4 catches in this game.
Stephen Threep, if you don't get to him, he's proven he's going to find and hit the open receivers. I look for Wisconsin to change that look defensively with the pressure.
Running play is not going to get him anything as Blake Sorensen takes DeAndre Lewis to the ground.
Good news right away when you look out there on the field for Wisconsin, if you're a Wisconsin fan, is that number 99 is back in the huddle.
And that is good news. The bad news is number 44 is not out there, and that's Chris Borland, their outstanding linebacker. He's in civvies on the sidelines. 3 under pressure. Steps up and guns complete up to the 45-yard line. Very close to a first down. Mike Willie, who has been held in check pretty well, made that catch, and it is just enough for a first down.
I just like the way that this offense moves it around. Threep with his feet looking down the field. 13 different receivers with a catch on the season. Last year they had 15 total that had to catch. So they spread the ball around. I like that.
I like his demeanor, too. Under pressure, he's just very cool. Here's the screen. We get the pass to Marshall. Marshall's got another first down at the Wisconsin 44. Threet just looks in total command of the offense.
The timing's there, isn't it? They're in rhythm. No pressure on him.
Exactly.
Down the field, they throw the ball the middle of the field. All of a sudden, they come back and they run a screen pass. So this is a really well-executed offense, and Noel Mazzoni, the new offensive coordinator, doing a nice job of dialing plays up.
Marshall is the running back behind Threet. Now he offsets to the left and will get the carry and runs right into middle linebacker Culmer St. Jean, number 15, the young man out of Naples, Florida. And they've either been stopped at the line of scrimmage or they've been able to break one.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like Wisconsin on 2nd and 10 has been able to stop and prevent from the 3rd and short.
And they certainly have not been able to stop the short passing game. Of course, that's easier said than done, too. Threet looking right, throws that way, and a perfect strike to Kerry Taylor, who has been his favorite target in this game. 5 catches.
Now, again, I'm going to go back and say Arizona State's offensive line, given all the love and everything out there, but watch the defensive line and how they move. And there's movement coming around in the middle. Nice job passing off on the left side. Good job picking up pass protection. Mike Marcis doing his job. It's just groomed. They're well executing this offense and the plays that are called.
Threet, pump fake, down the middle, into a crowd. Intended for T.J. Simpson. But he was surrounded by red jerseys. The other thing that's been impressive about Threet, Craig, is that he will be throwing from the near side hash marks to the far side on an out cut and get the ball there in a hurry. He's shown some good arm strength.
Well, it's a match for his skill set, his talent, this offense is spread open.
Trying to beat Wisconsin with 2 different schools. Taylor, good tackle there, and Taylor is down inside the 20. They need to reach the 15 for a first down.
Interesting there. No, Wisconsin did bring pressure wide side of the field, brought a 5th rusher in. Running back stayed in and blocked and protected, and Threet threw away from the pressure.
Third and 4. Good protection. Threet throws for the end zone. That's going to be interference. No flag. No flag. Holy cow. Niles Brinkley looked obvious from up here that he got there early.
I'm with you, partner. I thought this was pass interference, and I mean, all over.
It's all over.
I just don't see how you missed that call.
Boy, and the officials right there and did not call it. Threet saw it from where he was. Of course, he's got a vested interest in it, too. They'll try the field goal to tie it from 36 yards. And we are tied at 13. But Arizona State denied an opportunity to get a touchdown on what appeared to be a blown call. Arizona State, a big underdog at Wisconsin, have tied the Badgers at 13 with 11:11 to go third quarter. And we will go back after the kickoff and show you what we feel is a blown interference call in the end zone. Weber to kick. White and Ewing are deep. Ewing is back there as a blocker for White, number 20. White from the goal line. Nice return out across the 30.
And I think why we're showing you this again, we're not trying to bust on the officials, but this is how close Arizona State is to having, again, more points on the scoreboard. That's clearly pass interference. Not even a question about it. And so Arizona State, they can't get frustrated. They just got to hang in there.
I don't want their job. I can't do their job.
Nope.
But sometimes they blow.
Yes.
What does Wisconsin want to do on offense on this series? They come out throwing. Tolzien gets it out in the flat to Aubrey Darris. Let's go to Robert Flores.
All right, Mike, time for our AT&T All-America Player of the Week update. Arkansas's Ryan Mallett, 380 yards, 3 touchdowns, including the game winner as Arkansas beats Georgia 31-24. For Mallett, 3 consecutive 300-yard games to start the season. Text vote to 345-345 for a chance at a trip to the national championship.
Gain of 9. Clay has not been much of a factor. Aubrey Darris the other side up to the 45. How do you see that, Craig? Here's a guy who was such a tremendous running back behind this huge offensive line, and they just haven't used him very much.
It's a numbers game right now. You've got numbers inside by Arizona State's defense, and they're just trying to get outside and loosen up the Sun Devils.
8 carries, 42 yards for John Clay, who came into this game averaging 130 yards a game, 10th in the country. 1st and 10 from the 46. Clay powers his way this time. Still on his feet, dives to the Arizona State 41-yard line. Clint Floyd got a piece of an ankle and made the tackle. Gain of 13 for Clay.
And you know what, though? I said they were throwing outside, but there's your linebackers. You got your safeties. Look how hard and tight they are in there, but yet Wisconsin doesn't care. Safeties up strong. They still are able to create an opportunity for Clay to run the ball.
Monty Ball will give him a breather. New set of downs from the 41. Ball off the right side, nothing. And that speed filled those holes in a hurry. Oliver Aaron, who has played well since he came in for the injured Brandon McGee, got that tackle.
I'm watching for a new line of scrimmage. Watch the white shirts to see if they get pushed back. They don't. There's no new line of scrimmages. You know, when you've got a 323-pound average up front at 6'5½", you know, you may have to drop your fanny a little more to get leverage underneath those Sun Devils.
But that's what they do, is move people off that line of scrimmage. They haven't been able to do it that much today. Ball again. Lost his balance and was tripped down to the 36. It'll be a big 3rd and 5 for the Wisconsin offense. 8:54 to go, 3rd quarter.
I know this. I wouldn't have thought at halftime that Arizona State would have more rushing yards than Wisconsin, and they did.
White checks in. Tolzien's been very effective in this situation.
Yeah, they're 3 of 7 on 3rd down.
Arizona State showing pressure. Instead, they come with that 4-man rush again. The pass underneath. Ball comes loose. What a hit. Was that Burfict? It was. Vontez Burfict just unloaded on Kyle Jefferson. Hello.
Oh, man, what a good football player this guy is. You know, he's just a smart guy. We've seen him now a couple of times, Mike, where he's gone back, fallen into the play, and drilled the receiver.
Whoa. Oh, what a shot. Now, he's had problems with being overly aggressive. He's had problems with being late. He hasn't had any problems today. He's just been good. Nortman to punt. And Bolden is deep. He'll let it go. Wisconsin able to down it at the 1-yard line. Excellent special teams play by Connor O'Neill. A punt of 34 downed inside the 2.
Buick Regal, Taco Bell, think outside the bun, and Wrangler.
It's the Babcock Hall Dairy Store. One of their ice cream favorites is Barry Alvarez. 3 out of the shotgun in his end zone. And straight up the middle, Lewis. Deontay Lewis tripped over the 30-yard line. Holy cow, 1 block away from going all the way. Still, it's a gain of 32.
And you know what? As he gets up in there, as Thomas gets, watch the umpire. Gets in the way of Aaron Henry where he can't make the play.
And we have a player that needs attention, and it's the Wisconsin middle linebacker, Colmer St. Jean, who is back in the end zone.
You know, when we talk to these coaches at Arizona State, DeAndre Lewis is the home run threat for them. Now, you see another opportunity right there. That's a missed opportunity. That's a home run.
That was a 98-yard run in the making.
It had all of it. And have a blowout. The turf monster grabs him at the 34.
And they have had so many opportunities that have come within a half a step of breaking huge runs for scores or huge pass plays for scores. And Wisconsin's really been hurt by injuries. This is the second starting linebacker to come out. Earlier they lost J.J. Watt, their all-conference contending defensive end. He's been able to come back, but Borland is done with a shoulder injury. And now you've got Ethan Armstrong, number 36,
a freshman,
as the new middle linebacker. Lewis again. All right, let's take you back and show you the missed opportunities for Arizona State. This is the pass that's knocked loose in the end zone, should have been caught. Then another pass to George Bell, who just had a toe out of bounds. And then that great 95.5-yard kickoff return to end the first half, which was a half-yard short. Then the missed interference call, which would have given them a new series of downs. And 3 throws incomplete. Incidental contact on that one. And Aaron Pflugrad, who was their leading receiver coming into this game with 12 catches, a transfer from Oregon, and has been a non-factor in this one.
And he was covered up pretty well there. But again, there's plenty of time for 3 to throw the ball down the field. We've got several key missing parts now. A couple of linebackers that aren't there for Wisconsin. And so this is going to be really important and hard for them to do a good job of recognizing the interior routes.
Cameron Marshall is back in as the running back, and 3 bobbled the snap, and down he goes. Never had a chance. Jay Valai got there first. Kevin Rouse, an inside linebacker, got there to clean up, and 3 didn't have a chance after he dropped the snap.
Is this the theme of the 2010 season, quarterback center exchanges? How many times do we see quarterbacks dropping balls from with a snap?
And it almost always is somebody lifting their eyes to look down the field rather than looking the ball into their hands. Trevor Hankins will punt. Aubrey Darris is back at his 16. Kicking game has been huge today, almost a block. Aubrey Darris gets this one out. No, Aubrey Darris lets this one go after the great kick from Hankins, and it rolls down to the 12-yard line with the roll 60 yards off the foot of Trevor Hankins, who led the Pac-10 a year ago in punting. Welcome back to Wisconsin, where we have a 13-13 ball game between the Badgers and Arizona State with 6:20 to go third quarter. Wisconsin will take over from its own 12.
John Clay's not on course to keep his string of 8 100-yard rushing games intact.
Tolzien to throw. And there's that same guy. Lance Kendricks makes his 6th catch. And it's perfect because we're going to look at Kendricks in our good hands play, brought to you by Allstate.
Because John Clay's not there, right?
Corner. That's right.
Yep.
Great catch in the corner for a touchdown on a perfect throw from Tolzien. Can't throw it any better with a guy covered like that. Kendricks, in case you joined us late, on the Mackey Award list for tight ends. End around. Aubrey Darris to the 38-yard line, a gain of 15 and a first down.
As a result of the formation change at the very end, Lance Kendricks, number 84, the tight end, does a nice job of sealing the inside. Watch your left side there. He's able to get the leverage. They're all able to get leverage and allow the corner by Pflugrad to get outside.
Aubrey Darris, one of those guys that got an opportunity to play because other people were hurt. He has made the most of it, and now he's a fixture in that offense. Clay picking his way straight up the middle to the 46-yard line.
I don't know the feeling up here. Now you've got a young Arizona State football team. They've been hanging and hanging, tie game, missed opportunities we've shown you. Now it's up to focus, really, because you know Wisconsin's not going to be flustered. They have lots of experience on their side.
You have to wonder if that huge offensive line eventually is going to start to wear down the smaller defensive front for Arizona State. It certainly hasn't happened yet. 2nd and 2. Clay, first down and more to the Arizona State 46-yard line. Stopped by Oliver Aaron.
What it will do if they are able to continue the pace of 5 and 6 yards a clip, number 84 comes back into play. Paul Chryst, that offensive coordinator, will dial up a play-action pass in a heartbeat as soon as he sees those safeties cheating in the box.
11 carries, 71 for John Clay. He's out, and Monty Ball, or check it, James White, is into the ball game at tailback. White, nice hole. White off the right side, 30. Pushed out of bounds at the 28-yard line. Well, maybe they are getting some traction up front, Craig. That was a gain of 17.
And a nice job by Brady Ewing, 34, the fullback, of sealing backside. And you don't see that Arizona State defense coming off blocks like they were. And you've got to play with intensity every snap if you're going to beat one of the top teams in the country.
An impressive Wisconsin drive right here. White again. Behind Cons. Got to be a pretty good center to pull and get out in front.
I just want to, this is athleticism. You snap the football, you have to move, look at the middle of the field, watch what he does. I mean, you know, snap it, and then you get around, and you're running with the quarter horses around the corner. I mean, that's just it's a real luxury. It's a luxury even in the National Football League if you can find a center who can pull.
And to be able to get to the corner and deliver the block, very impressive. White again, another nice hole. This time it closes, and he's taken down short of the 19. They need to reach the 18-yard line for a first down. Bolden was in on that stop, along with Burfict, the middle linebacker.
What are you thinking here? If you're hollering advice in from Craig Bray, the coordinator, what are you telling your guys?
I like play action to Kendricks. Of course, I always like play action.
Well, I do, especially when you got Kendricks. That's what I'm hollering.
Wisconsin in this half, 9 carries, 77 yards. Clay's back in, so I'm guessing run. Clay, touchdown. They didn't throw it to Kendricks. They let him block. Well, that drive, they pretty much stuffed it down their throat, didn't they?
That's what they thought they were going to do the entire game.
Clay with 48 yards in this quarter after he only had 42 the rest of the game. And Wisconsin with its best drive.
And watch this here. Boom. There's the play and the action. It's just not a play action pass. Getting to the outside, clearing the way for Clay to go in and score. Lance Kendricks is a heck of a football player.
Isn't he, though? It's an 88-yard drive, their best of the day. And And I will bet you Brett Bielema is thinking, hey, that's the way we're supposed to play. That's Wisconsin football.
I don't think that's what he's thinking. I think he's thinking, do we kick this ball high and deep or do we squib it?
Yes. You could be right about that. They will think long and hard about the decision they made at the end of the half with 10 seconds to go. Kicking it deep, giving Arizona a chance to run it back. They almost did. Or Arizona State. Middlebrooks and Lewis are deep. 4 kickoff returns today for Arizona State have amassed 236 yards. Holy cow.
So what do you think he's thinking?
Squib?
Cover?
Middlebrooks 2 yards deep. And a cheer goes up as he's taken down at the 25. Let's check in with the studio.
All right, Mike, number 8, Nebraska is ranked in the top 10 for 3 straight weeks for the first time since 2002. Taking on Washington, Alfonso Denard picks off Jake Locker, goes the other way, 31 yards. Locker has been picked off twice. Number 8, Nebraska rolling 49-21. Number 18, USC leading Minnesota 19-14 after Robert Woods returns a kickoff 97 yards. Mike, Craig.
Robert, thank you so much. Going to give it off to DeAndre Lewis. And the freshman takes it up across the 30 to the 31.
How about Nebraska? That defense, the offense on the road. A lot of people wonder how they would handle playing on the road against Jake Locker. I think they answered that, didn't they?
I think they're handling it all right. This one's batted down by J.J. Watt. You know, Craig, there are certain guys like Bo Pelini, you know he's going to win. It's only a question of how long it's going to take him. There are some guys that just know what they're doing in this business.
He is a special one. So is this guy here. This is the 4th batted pass by J.J. Watt. He just does it all. He's blocked a field goal. He's forced a fumble. He just does a little bit of everything for this defense.
And DeAndre Lewis, if he's going to try to cut him, he's got to do a little bit better job than that. 3rd down. Wisconsin trying to bring pressure. Threed over the middle, has the first down. Another perfect throw. And he hits T.J. Simpson.
I guess that just shows you right there the respect that Wisconsin's defense has. You know, Dave Doran comes in with a little different look on 3rd down, brings it, dials up the pressure. Stephen Threed patiently steps up and delivers a strike.
Got to be impressed with him, huh?
I am 100% impressed.
Play action. Good protection. Threed down the middle and just overthrew Simpson. Had him on a post with no deep safety. Antonio Tenellis had the coverage.
We spoke with Dennis Erickson about his football team, and he said, you know, we're not where I thought we would be. And yet he understands the youth of the team. And I think when you see them play, you understand why he has optimism for what the sophomores will do next year and the juniors will do next year.
Well, when you only have one starting senior on the team. Threed out in the flat. He was under pressure. J.J. Watt was coming again. He hurried that pass. And then Watt put him on his backside.
Watch how Watt grabs the jersey, yanks underneath the pressure and to the quarterback. And I guarantee you, Stephen Threed, he knew that Mr. Watt 99 was coming and made a bad throw.
Another big 3rd down. Can they keep the drive alive with 1:42 to go 3rd quarter? Threed changing the play. Blitz coming. Threed hangs in there and throws, tipped, and incomplete. Intended for George Bell, and Bell was covered perfectly. Threed got crushed by Kevin Rouse.
You know what? You got pressure coming from Wisconsin. You get the opportunity that Threet's looking for on the outside, throws it up, takes a drilling right in the mouth. But really nice job coverage there by Niles Brinkley. Staying on the inside, seeing the ball and reacting.
Oh, what a shot. Abreu-Darris waiting at his 10. Fields it inside the 10, back at the 5. Still on his feet. Well, trying to make up for that mistake fielding the ball at the 4-yard line after a 54-yard punt. Cardinal rule is if you back up, just let it go, but he didn't. This week on Monday Night Football, the defending Super Bowl champs take the field. Drew Brees and the Saints against Frank Gore and the 49ers. Monday Night Football on ESPN Monday at 8:30 Eastern. Our coverage starts at 7 with Monday Night Countdown served by Applebee's.
So I guess I understand. Mike Singletary said he's got a rat in his locker room or something that somebody's...
I would not want to be the rat that Mike Singletary's looking for.
Well, he hit me several times when we were in college and pros like I was a rat. So I know. Don't reveal yourself.
Abreu-Darris breaks a tackle, breaks another, takes it out to the 35. Gain of 20. Nice throw by Tolzien.
Because of injuries to David Gilreath and Nick Toon, Abreu-Darris has had a chance to step in and play. Last week, 5 catches, 58 yards. Guy that really wasn't even on the radar. All of a sudden, he's the guy. That's why coaches always tell players, you're an ankle away, sprained ankle away from being the guy.
And without his top 2 receivers, Tolzien is at 17 of 22. Pretty impressive performance for him. Clay. And he takes it to the 39.
Eight straight 100-yard games now. John Clay is easing up. He's going to get there, 13 for 94. So just like that, a couple of series, and there they are.
And this is the point in the game where you just love having a 255-pound tailback. Just to hammer away at guys. Second and 6. Clay. Dragging tacklers with him, about a half-yard shy of a first down on a run that will end the 3rd quarter. Wisconsin starting to impose its will on Arizona State. They are up 20-13, end of 3. That's Wisconsin's undefeated volleyball team at practice, enjoying this last touchdown that put the Badgers on top. And now they're all jumping around. A song by the House of Pain. And this is always a little disturbing because the whole building moves. I mean moves.
I have waited years to be able to experience that, and I ended up jumping. You don't have to. You just kind of start jumping because they're in it.
Clay. Boy, good job by Perfect. He just went in there and submarined everybody.
I made a comment in the newspapers this week about this Arizona State team and not playing with discipline and the penalties that they had. And I said that it's a lack of intelligence as a player, football intelligence, when you don't do your job and you do something selfish.
Yeah.
I applaud this team today for what they have done coming in here playing with discipline against a very good football team.
That's a great point. And now Wisconsin comes up. They get a chance to go for it on 4th down. They're going to try to draw them off. It looks like it. Yeah, they have no intention of snapping the ball.
Mike, again,
you just
discipline.
said discipline.
There you go. Nice job by Arizona State.
Craig, that was perfectly timed. And they had gotten in so much trouble. They came into this game 118th in the country in penalty yards. And there's only 120 teams in the country. They were 120 a year ago. But you're right. They have shown a great deal of discipline today. Nortman came up under center. Now they're going to punt. Miles waits inside his 20. Nice high floater. He's got a seam. Boy, the kick returns have just scared Wisconsin to death. A 25-yard return. Let's take you back a couple of years. 2008, Wisconsin and Michigan. The Wolverines were trailing 19-0 at home. But Stephen Threet threw a third-quarter touchdown pass to Kevin Koger that started a run of 27 unanswered points. He had a 58-yard scramble himself. That set up the go-ahead score. So he's trying to beat this team with his second score. Lewis. He gets out to the 47. I can't tell you how impressed I've been by Threet. Yeah. He has just thrown the ball so well today.
The whole team. And the balance that they've shown offensively in this football game. And you see the punt return picked this team back up. Arizona State looked like that the air had gone out a little bit. That punt return lifted them up.
Lewis has had a pretty good game. 7 carries, 102 yards. Pflugrad out in the flat. He's down to the Wisconsin 45. That's a first down.
Okay, now when you speak with Noel Mazzoni, the offensive coordinator, he'll tell you that that play right there is like a toss sweep, really, and that it has to be a perfectly led pass. They have to get 6+ yards on that, not a bad throw where the runner has to stop with the receiver. You know, they pick up 8 yards on that, and that's just a dynamite, well-executed play.
And that is a much harder throw than it looks to be. Lewis, now. He's swallowed up by the defensive end, Ezegwu. He's had a pretty good game, too, as well as J.J. Watts. Those bookend ends have played well.
I see Culmer St. Jean back on the field for Wisconsin.
That's good news.
That's good news. And this is a team that's they've had their courage tested today by the Sun Devils.
Pressure coming on Threet. Steps up, throws sidearm and incomplete. Behind Pflugrad, and Jay Valai was the closest guy to it, and another Wisconsin injury. Oh, and that's J.J. Watt again. There are certain key players on your team you literally cannot afford to have hurt. They have already had Chris Borland down. Watt is down the second time. You can't contend for a championship if you lose key players. Simply can't.
No. And I talk about testing their courage and the character of a football team. They've got to step up. When you lose guys, that's the way it is. Everybody else has to make a play.
The Sun Devils facing a huge 3rd and 13 here. The pass is going to be about 3 or 4 yards shy of a first down. J.J. Watt, as we went to commercial, limped off the field. It appeared he rolled his right ankle. And Arizona State, choosing discretion as the better part of valor, will punt away.
And you know why? Because their team has played well today. They don't have to do it with smoke and mirrors and gimmicky stuff. Play field position, good football, and expect your defense to get it done.
Abrederis, who fielded the last one inside the 5-yard line. End over end kick. He will let this one go, and it bounds into the end zone.
The show made by the nation is packing its bags for a Big Ten road trip. Oh yes, Sports Nation taking its characters and costumes and going to hang out with some of college football's most passionate fans. 4 days in Big Ten country, Monday through Thursday at 4 p.m. on ESPN2. And mark my words, the nation will never be the same.
Wisconsin takes over at its own 20-yard line with 11:43 to go. The Badgers on top, 20-13. They would like nothing better than a long, sustained drive. White is the tailback on 1st and 10. Tolzien to throw. Now he keeps. Lowers his head, takes a shot for his trouble, but picks up 7 yards.
I I can venture to say that offensive coordinator Paul Chryst will say, look, in the meetings, don't take on their middle best linebacker. Let's go ahead and get a little slide into second base here at the end of this.
Yeah, and you don't think Burfict knows it's the quarterback?
Oh, wow.
Oh. Forearm shiver. 2nd and 3. White. Get him outside. White picking his way. Huge collision. He's up to the 35, maybe the 36-yard line. There's a flag down. Back at the 27-yard line. This play is coming back.
We've talked about penalties and mistakes. None by Arizona State in this half.
Holding, 74 offense, 10 yards, previous spot, still 2nd down.
That's John Moffitt, the all-conference left guard.
And, you know, when you talk about formations and things, there are two different that we've seen. Now, we've seen the I formation on the first play, of which the quarterback Tolzien ran. Then you come back and you get a different look, and they get the leverage and they block down. So Arizona State's got to be smart. They have to look at their reads and recognize formation and do their job.
2nd and 13. The penalty assessed from the spot of the foul. Tolzien rolling left, throwing left. And it almost got through there to Aubrey Darris. Got a hand on it. But that was a very dangerous throw.
But accurate. It was
Max Tayback may have gotten a piece of it. 24.
Might have, but this is a pretty accurate throw, and it's in a lot of traffic. A lot of hands going through that football before it gets to your receiver.
Deveron Carr was the guy who actually got a fingertip on it, and Tayback was right there if he had.
So Dennis Erickson's decision to not go for it and to punt could pay off. They've got them where they want them on 3rd and long.
These are the plays on which games hinge. Tolzien under pressure. Deep out. Complete at the 32. Anderson makes the catch. So a running team converts a 3rd and 13. That is some throw by Tolzien.
Plenty of time to throw the ball. This guy is an accurate passer. 65% last year, has picked up and if not improved to where he was. And a senior needing to step in and make a play. Isaac Anderson comes up, runs a disciplined route. He's where the ball is going to be thrown. And that's just that's good discipline on Anderson's part.
And we will go under the 10-minute mark. Aubrey Darris on the end around. Picks up maybe a yard. Good play by Greg Smith, the defensive end, to hold his ground.
We've been talking about the youth of Arizona State. There are 13 seniors on Wisconsin's team who have at least 5 starts to their credit. So at moments like this is when that seniority comes to play.
Absolutely. Wisconsin taking every second off of that play clock as we're down to 9:21 and counting in this game. And Clay is back in. This is a situation in a game designed for him. Boy, his ankles attract a lot of attention, don't they? He comes through that line and people are going as low as they can go.
Ball security is something that that he's good at, and those ankles, when you come up and you're about 40 or 50 pounds lighter most of the time, you better go somewhere low, because if you get him up top, he'll kiss you.
Yeah, the ankles are the lightest part that you can find. 2nd and 3. Clay got him behind the line of scrimmage, and he gets up to the 40. Excuse me, 3rd and 2, not 2nd and 3. And now this will bring up a 4th down, and Wisconsin's going to have to kick the ball away. So Arizona State did a brilliant job on Clay.
And that's how you stop 250-plus pounds. Don't let them get going. Make them redirect. Groups and make him go left and right.
Miles is back, and every time Wisconsin either kicks off or punts, I think the coaching staff holds its collective breath. Arizona State has scared them to death on kick returns. Short kick, Miles bounces off one tackle, avoids another. Jeez, he almost broke that one. Wow. He ran for 5 minutes to get a yard on the return after a punt of 38.
ESPN's College Football is presented by 5 Hour Energy. Hours of energy now, no 2:30 feeling later. For more information, visit 5hourenergy.com.
Madison, Wisconsin, one of the really neat college towns that you could ever visit. 7:43 to go. Arizona State takes over in its own territory. 3 in trouble. Gets rid of it. Got it to Simpson. Turned a couple of yards loss into a 7-yard gain.
That's great individual effort, and it's also great news for Wisconsin. You got him over here. He's back in the ball game. J.J. Watt. That's good to see, and he's the one who breaks the pocket down, forces 3 out of the pocket. Got to make the play and finish it up.
You got to get somebody on him to get him down. He's 6'5", 240. We'll try to run for the first down with Marshall. They need to reach the 33, got to the 32. Culmer St. Jean, who is back in there, made the tackle, and it brings up a big 3rd down and a yard.
Whoever has Arizona State on their schedule remaining, they'll take notice after this ball game.
Yeah, they're going to get a face full, aren't they?
Yes, they will.
May have the best special teams on the planet Earth. Marshall lowered a shoulder, got the first down and more. Dragging a tackler with him up to the 39. Now that was the most determined run he's had today. He knew it was 3rd and 1, and he was going to get the 1.
Weighs nearly 220 pounds. Had 104 yards rushing on the ground in their opening week. A lot of power and determination there.
11 carries, 33 yards, but that was his most important run of the game. Lewis comes back in, and Threek wants to throw on first down, steps up, guns it over the middle. Pflugrad, what a catch. What a beautiful grab on a bullet.
Stephen Threek, the guy steps up, pressure's collapsing around him, forcing him to move forward in the pocket. And Pflugrad with the focus laid out. Nice job.
Threek's a guy you really root for. He has just had bad luck in his choice of schools and their ability to change coaching staffs as soon as he signs. Lewis to the outside, 30, 25, 23. DeAndre Lewis turned the corner. There was nobody there.
Let me tell you who wasn't there, Mike. Look at the top of the line of scrimmage there, and you'll see J.J. Watt. He just gets pummeled right out here on the outside. He comes down inside. They don't spill it with the linebackers. They don't get out there to fill that void that was left. And you know, it's just, again, execution by the offense.
Lewis has rushed for 122 yards today against the stout Wisconsin defense. Pflugrad on the outside, flanker screen down to the 16-yard line. This is an impressive drive, and somebody else is hurt. Well, we've just seen too many guys down for Wisconsin in this game. Let's show you our Pac Life game summary while we check out this injury. And we told you about the kick returns. Arizona State with 261 yards on kick returns. One went 95.5 yards and wasn't a touchdown. Kendricks made a great catch in the corner. And John Clay gets the big second half touchdown that has Wisconsin ahead 20-13.
Did you say 264 on kick returns?
Yes.
If it were 264 and a half,
Yeah.
there's 7 more points on the board right before halftime.
This is Eric Breitis being helped off. He's a sophomore tackle. Kick returns have just been spectacular all day for the Wildcats. And now they have a second and a long 3 with 5:20 left in this game.
Yeah, the Badger players, they're imploring this crowd to get into it, to give them a little bit of a home field advantage.
Lewis goes one way. They give it to Jamal Miles going back the other way. He'll be a couple of yards shy of a first down. And I think you're obviously in 4-down territory here with 4:55 to go and down by 7.
As well as they've run the football today, trying to pick up a couple of yards against a banged up Wisconsin defense. I like their chances.
Cameron Marshall is the running back on 3rd and 2. Marshall out in the flat, and they're going to throw to him, and Marshall wide open down the sideline, knocked out of bounds at the 3. When they didn't run, they just forgot about the running back. He was wide open in the flat, and Stephen Threet again was perfect on that throw.
What you won't see here perhaps is the linebackers not getting out there fast. Colmer St. Jean, one of those, had come off the field earlier, doesn't have a full gear. He was not able to get out there. That's like a toss sweep in this offense. High percentage, very effective.
4 for 4 on this drive is Threet. They go with a ground game. Marshall into the end zone. Touchdown. That was an impressive drive. When you've got to have it and the game's on the line, that's when you know what you're made of. 77 yards in 9 plays. The point after to tie. Blocked. Holy cow. What a time to make a play on special teams. It looked like Jay Valai, the safety number 2.
Just coming across, lays out. Great effort. Probably slow on the time from the snap to the kick. You have to be perfect in every phase of the game. And Wisconsin special teams, while being thrashed in the kick return game, steps it up on extra point block.
What a stunning development. Wisconsin still leads by 1. State goes 77 yards to get a touchdown. They're on the verge of tying it, and they botched the extra point because of a blown protection allowing Jay Valai to come in and get a hand on it, and it's 20-19.
Mike, I keep thinking of the words they used telling us about their program. We just need to get over the hump. We need a break.
White is deep to receive. Kicking it around, takes it across the 20, tripped up, goes down at the 27-yard line. So back to the block, Craig.
You got to be, here's the key deal. You got to be strong in the gap and make the outside guy come around. That's the timing of the play. Instead, Morrison on the outside pays more attention, misses inside to Valai, who's able to come in with the block.
Just the sheer physics of it, if the snap is good and the hold is good, the outside guy can't get there.
That's what they're counting on. That's the way it's drawn up.
Yeah. Morrison with the protection, didn't get it done, and Valai was able to get a gap. Now it's all about, can we kill the clock? And Clay is swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. All 3 timeouts remaining for Arizona State. We're under 4 minutes. Remember, they have a terrific field goal kicker should they get the ball back. But Wisconsin's going to do everything it can to burn time.
Which was their game plan coming in this whole game.
Yeah.
Now, again, keep in mind, one of the stars of this game has been that tight end right there. There he is, Lance Kendrick. Play action pass. They cannot fly up and not remember that.
There's the fake up the middle. They end up giving it to Anderson, and Anderson goes out of bounds. And there is a flag down late. And it looks like it's going to go against Arizona State. There's the discipline you talked about.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 34. Hit away from the play. 15 yards, automatic, first down.
James Brooks has been planning on a breakout season, wanting to do extremely well. These are the little things. Their first penalty of the second half for Arizona State after 7 in the first. And it's the personal foul. That 15 yards, those are the plays right there that Dennis Erickson told us about this week and has told his team. Don't make us have to learn a hard lesson.
And this would have been 3rd and long. Instead, it's a 1st and 10. Now they can burn more time, and Arizona State is going to have to start using its timeouts, you would have to guess. Clay. And Perfect dove for the ankles and got him as he crossed midfield. Glad to have the audience who was watching Alabama Duke join us. And we have 2:34 to go in this game. Wisconsin trying to run out the clock. They're facing a 2nd and 4. Up by a point. Clay, the tailback. And Clay will get the carry. Dives forward. They'll be about 2 yards shy of a first down. Arizona State has not stopped the clock yet.
No, they're holding on here, but they're going to have to hope that they can come up again and force John Clay to shift left and right. This has been a team that has hung in there the entire game and has had so many missed opportunities. They will count lots of points that they could have within inches put on the scoreboard.
Perfect trying to inspire his defense. Well, they've allowed a lot of time to go off the clock here. Play of the game, 3rd and 2. Play action fake. Tolzien hit as he throws. Has a man wide open. It's Kendricks. And Kendricks knocked out of bounds with a first down. What a gutsy call.
I just told you, don't go to sleep on Kendricks, right? They've been running. Right side, you're going to see how patient. He gets lost in the traffic. This is bread and butter. Scott Tolzien, one of the more accurate passers in the country. They know when to call the play. And we've said, if Arizona State's secondary wasn't disciplined, they were going to get burned.
What a nice play call by Paul Christ. And now Arizona State will have to use the timeouts. We're down to 1:21. Clay. I don't think there's going to be another play action pass.
No.
There's the first Sun Devil timeout.
Timeout, Arizona State. First timeout.
Got a timeout on the field. 1:17 left in a 1-point ball game in Madison. 1:17 left in the ball game. Wisconsin has a 2nd and 10. Arizona State has 2 timeouts remaining. Clay. Room up the middle. Inside the 20. Clay to the 18-yard line. They will measure for a first down. The wheels are turning. If it's a first down and you're Arizona State, about the only chance you have is to let them score a touchdown, go up by 8, and you'd have a chance to tie it.
Have a chance to come back. at least with a chance to score. Now, John Clay, early in this game, it looked like he wasn't going to be a real factor. He'd come in with 8 straight 100-yard rushing games. But the patience of Wisconsin's coaching staff to stay with their game plan.
Yeah.
Eventually, that 6'5", 323-pound average offensive line took control of it.
Arizona State has used its second timeout. Let's take a look back at our Chick-fil-A drive recap.
This was a very, very important drive here and a great play calling by Paul Chryst, the offensive coordinator. You really couldn't zero in on any one particular player in Wisconsin who was going to get the ball. Next thing you know, John Clay finally gets it and does his thing getting to the end zone for the touchdown. But this has been a game of missed opportunities. Oh, so close for Arizona State.
All right, we say let Wisconsin score and you go up by 8, but Wisconsin doesn't have to run into the end zone. All they have to do is kneel down because Arizona State's got 1 timeout left.
They're in the best formation in football.
Yes, sir. Tolzien will kneel down. Arizona State uses its last timeout.
Timeout.
Arizona State will look back on this game as one of missed opportunities. 2 passes into the end zone. One that should have been caught for a touchdown. Another that was so close, reviewed and was not given the score. And then the tackle by Shelton Johnson on the 95.5-yard kickoff return. Then the blown pass interference. And then the mistake on pass protection, on kick protection. And the extra point goes awry.
That kickoff return that you saw there, for those who just joined us, that was the last play of the first half. That's why that half yard is a difference between points, no points, and perhaps winning a football game.
7 or nothing.
And, you know, again, I'd say this. Wisconsin showed a lot of character and courage today because several of their players had to be helped off the field.
Sure did.
Especially on defense. And Arizona State, young football team, only 1 senior starting in this game today. They learned a lot. They learned that they can go on the road and compete against a really good team.
I think they are going to be a factor in what is a vastly improved Pac-10 this year, don't you think?
Stephen Threet at quarterback showed a whole lot today. Yep. I guarantee you Wisconsin's glad that Mr. Threet won't come back through here.
Yeah, he was extremely impressive. 21 of 33 for 211 yards. Ran the offense beautifully. Well, he beat Wisconsin as the Michigan quarterback. He's not going to beat them as the Arizona State quarterback, at least not this year.
But the Sun Devils, a football program that, as they told us this week, we got to get over the hump. We need a game like this where they've got to win. They're tired of the moral victories.
Wisconsin hangs on by its fingernails and wins it 20-19. It's a long walk there for Dennis Erickson, and you can tell it. Brett Bielema 3-0 again at Wisconsin. He has done a brilliant job here as the head coach of this program, taking over for Barry Alvarez.
Good ball game. Great trip to Camp Randall Stadium. Enjoyed it.
You've always wanted to come here, and it lived up to it, didn't it?
Sure did.
Once again, the final score, Wisconsin 21, Arizona State 20. For Craig James and our entire ABC crew, this is Mike Patrick saying so long from Madison, Wisconsin. Now we send you back to the studio. Thanks for watching, everyone.